You know, I've been gone for quite a bit, and it's quite funny that Alcohol Free, or that comeback, is the first comeback or first video I'm creating, because guess who can drink now? Guess who's turned 18? It is legal in the UK, so it's alright, we're good. I mean, I haven't literally drunk that much, but you know. I've been gone for a bit just because, honestly, blame Drag Race. Just blame that. I've just been more into that right now. Let me just get into the video. Hi. I like Twice a lot, and they've actually had like a good comeback this year, which I'm happy about. One reason I've enjoyed Taste of Love is that the whole album just tells the story of summer love. It progresses through the different stages of a relationship, from the hard to get flirting to the serious falling in love feeling. This progression is clear in both the sound and genre of each song, and the lyrics of each song as well. It all together creates a great narrative and story that you can follow when listening to the album. It's also just a testament to how great the writings of Twice have become. The members have really been able to tell their own stories and show their own styles in more of the recent releases, and this is a perfect showing of their development. I'll go through each song one by one and explain my interpretation of them, whilst also talking about how they progress the story in the Taste of Love. I'm also just going to say my first thoughts on them, because I like every time I listen to a comeback or group I like, and I like it, I always write down my first thoughts of like each song. Alcohol Free. My first thoughts on it was apparently that I love it. It didn't hit me as hard as something like More and More or Feel Special. At the same time, I don't think that was its purpose. It's supposed to be something different, and I like how it's more mellow and calm, and that's like a really good summer song. About the story part. Basically what I've noticed is throughout Taste of Love, or what I interpret is like a long kind of narrative and story about summer love and like first love and whatever. Alcohol Free starts that. It's the start of the story when you first hit the club in the summer. It is a warm evening where tangerine lines the sky. The sand on the beach is still hot from the sun shining all day. The cocktail bar is full of people just as excited as you to be on holidays in COVID-free alternative world I wish we could be in right now, let's be honest. Champagne, wine, tequila, margarita, mojito. You drink all these mixes with your friends, you feel the music and dance the night away. You find someone who has the same excitement as you and joy as you. That's just mainly what I got from the first like song. It's just kind of like the start of something. You meet this person, it's kind of fun, you don't feel anything, but it's like a fun summer night at a cocktail bar. First time. My first thoughts of this song was I love the use of bass and the funky tune of a guitar. I love the use of the gang vocals as well in the kind of, was it after chorus and in the bridge? That was really good. The higher range by Jihyo, Nayeon, Jonghyun in the chorus are amazing, and I love it when the girls use more versatility in their voices. I don't know about you, but I Get Butterflies is such a good lyric. It's so fun and flirtatious. First time is confident, but doesn't want to show it too much to have fun with the person they like. Little laugh at the end symbolises that as well. I don't know why, but it gives me like early 2010s Katy Perry at some points, which is just great because like early 2010s pop was such a great time. Also written by Jade from Little Mix. I love that so much. Now on to the story part. This part of the story continues the connection between the person you met last time. You've bumped into each other over summer, and every time you see each other, the connection between you becomes stronger. You're probably on a name basis at this point, but every time you feel butterflies and a light blush spreads on your cheek. This is just not a one-time thing, it's something more, and it being your first time feeling this is 10 times stronger. Scandal. My first thoughts on Scandal was that I love the whispers at the start. It makes it already just so fun. It's a much quicker pace and tempo than the past two songs, so already have a change up of melodies suggesting that the relationship is kind of like picking up speed now, and it's not just a one-time thing, it's getting more serious. More of a dance and party kind of song. You see how my like lexical choice is like at bare minimum right now. Probably with the use of lower synths and pianos and clapping, giving me mid-2000 pops with this, so I really like the variety in sound and influence. The girls seem like they're having so much fun on this track as well, which already makes it good. There are some parts where it uses the same instruments from Eyes Wide Open, and again, I think it's a testament to their growth since Fancy, how they've managed to still be Twice with their bright concept, but have also been able to mature with their concepts and sound. For the next part of the story, Scandal represents that part of the story where other people, maybe your friends, catch on to the fact that maybe, just maybe, there might be something between you and that person. It's a fun part of the story when you can mess around and play a bit. The hard to get move to confuse everyone. Whispers and the cheek in the girls' voices really amplify this point and my interpretation. It's just sexy, that's what I'm saying, it's sexy. It is sexy. Conversation. My first thoughts of Conversation was these songs always start straight away with a definitive instrumental, which already separates it as its own song and body of work. I love having cohesion, but none of these songs seem filler so far. They all have their own purpose in the mini album. These songs have purpose, and that's why there is a story. The use of funk techniques with the bass guitar being the foundation of the song is a theme in a lot of their songs as well, and also seems to be used a lot in the music industry this year, which is good. More focused on the vocals and performance rather than the instrumental, which is great, as it seems to be moving on from the EDM tropical house trend from the past couple of years. The vocals seem to coincide where the beat hits as well, making this song more satisfying. Continuing the story, this song marks the point where this fun and no strings attached relationship becomes more serious, and perhaps there is something more there. You can really tell the change in the mood of the album as it transitions from scandal to conversation, which implies a sudden seriousness in the relationship. It could be the scariest part, as something you thought was fun and light now becomes more important and deep than you would have thought. It's a turning point of the album. Baby Blue Love. My first thoughts for the song was it uses a disco/funk kind of guitar again, but not as much bass, but more of a disco inspired track. Feels lighter and brighter than previous tracks. Feels like a song you'd hear when skating on a roller rink. Again, it has a great focus on the vocal performance and singing rather than the instrumental, which makes it more fun and interesting instead of being left feeling empty from a lack of chorus. Now, this feels like something from summer 2020, which is a good thing, but it's not like unoriginal. It kind of means they're like taking all the good stuff from summer 2020 and making it good for like summer 2021. Also, it takes inspiration from the disco trend we've seen last year, but it isn't too overwhelming that it feels like it's part of the tail end of a trend. It has its own individuality and style, which makes it seem like the evolution of the trend rather than stuck in the past. Continue with the narrative of the album. This city pop influence on this track is such a nice switch up from the songs before, and leads into the next part of the story in the album. This song is full of early summer mornings at the skate rink, afternoon dates in the park, and evenings watching the sunset. It's the perfect love story and romance that is in full bloom. SOS. My first thoughts of this song was it really gave me city pop and disco feel, but this is like the night version instead of the day part we got with Baby Blue Love. Late nights in a city of pink and purple lights. It is more upbeat and fast than Say Something, that's the thing, SOS and Say Something are definitely like sisters, and I love that because Say Something was one of my favourite songs from last year. Again, the structure of the chorus reminds me of mid-2000 and early 2000 pops, which I love. I'm glad they are getting influences from those periods of music. It has the same fun and flirtatious vibe, but it's giving more falling into love rather than being hard to get. Clearly the person they started flirting with at the start of the album now seems trustworthy, and over time they see they could actually start something with them. The song titles being more free and calm at the start of the album compared to the urgency of SOS suggests their heart is wanting to start something with this person they've been playing hard to get with. But now it's okay to feel in love with someone because it's okay to want to try something more committing than on and off flirting, and that's fine. I love this song, just to put out there first, I do love it. This is the last song on the album and therefore the closing of the story of The Taste of Love. SOS is the realisation that you have completely fallen in love with the person. It implies that you love this feeling of true love and that this is the one and it's exciting and the best feeling. SOS is the urgent feeling of excitement with this new relationship, and it's the end of the first chapter of The Taste of Love that you have just experienced. The experience the album just took you through. The next chapter of the relationship is all up to the future. To end this video off, here's something I wrote after my first reaction to the album that sums up everything perfectly. One thing I've noticed with Twice's albums is how cohesive they always are. Sometimes that has been a hindrance, but this time it works in their favour. Starting off with a calm and relaxed song representing meeting someone for the first time, then going into more upbeat, fiery and passionate songs representing the fun game of flirting and having fun with no strings attached, turning into more relaxed and comforting songs, showing that this relationship has turned into something more, and it's a fun story to listen along to. There is a story in Taste of Love, and it's the taste of love the girls sing about at the start of the album. By the end, it has ended up as something more than they thought, but they're okay with that. and their heart is ready for something more. But it's okay not to jump into anything quickly if you're not that prepared, and have fun with that person before committing to something deeper. This album was enjoyable, and Twice proved again why they are versatile, but they never leave who they are behind because they are just always so good at committing to the pop girl movement, if that makes sense. They are like this, they are a staple girl group that people in the future will look up to.